Good morning everybody, welcome to Lake Tarawera. It's my second ride on the GTI and my second time towing with an EV, so I'm certainly still in the experimentation, confidence building phase, but I'm enjoying it and I'm loving being back on the water. I've just come out of the 5 knot zone, let's just show you that. So that's the landing over there and I'll show you some footage in a second. It's a little bit cloudy right now, there's a little bit of drizzle still, it's just clearing up, so I won't be able to get the drone up. I will get that up later if the weather forecast is accurate. Today I'm just going to cruise around to the natural hot pools. I just want to show you how you can get there, where you dock your ski or your boat, how you walk to them. Because to be honest, when I first tried to go there, I couldn't find an easy place to find that out. So hopefully this inspires you to get out here and makes it easy for you just to launch your ski or your boat and just go straight there. So great spot, great day, there's nobody on the water. It's very early spring, so quite cold, hence me looking like a bit of an idiot. I've got my old hooded jacket on with the goggles, so sometimes it's leave your ego behind and function before aesthetics, so that's what we're going for today. Now, just as a side note, the landing ramp, I'll just show some footage to you now. There's only one ramp, there's probably about 10 or 12 parks, so you've got to get in here early. There was nobody there today, but again, it's early spring, so if you're here in summer or a nice late spring day, it's probably going to be get in early to get a park. There's a really good cafe there too, so if you want to go and have a ride, then come back, pull your ski out and just jump in there for a nice single shot latte or a cup of English breakfast. In my case, good old Kiwi flat white large please. The dock itself is pretty new, so there's plenty of places you can dock to while you go and put your car back in the park. 5 knot zone's not huge, so once you get out about 200 meters, you can start going. And like I said, depending on your winds, if you can catch a west-southwest, that's pretty good, apart from one spot which I'll show you where it turns around the neck. It can get a bit gnarly. This lake can pull a bit of draw and chop, so you just got to choose the right day. If you get the right day, there's nothing better. So yeah, this is living, I can tell you that much. Let's get into it. So on the eastern side of the lake, there's plenty of these small, somewhat sandy, stony beaches. Not a lot of big rocks in the water on the beaches itself, but there are, if you look at this, there is a mixture of sand and stones, pebbles. So if you're worried about the bottom of your ski or your boat, you probably want to be anchoring just offshore here and coming in. Given I've got the GTI hull, I'm not as worried about it. It's the best thing about that hull is you don't get overly concerned about the bottom of it. I mean, obviously you still care, but not as much as say on one of the SD3 hulls or a fiberglass. And you can't see the mountain. The mountain's usually overlooking you there, Mount Tarawera, but that's just a little bit of clouds. Hopefully that comes out. But you could bring a picnic in here and have a sit, have a lie down, enough room for a towel. Okay, let's keep moving. Push it out deep. Never do a shallow start. Oh, the sun's starting to come out. Really nice on this eastern side too, because you get covered if it's a sou'wester or a westerly. boat from a distant little outcrop. scared all the birds away. They'll come back. You always got to watch out for rocks near you when you're near these sort of things though, so trying to film and also keep an eye out for rocks. There goes the water taxi. It's taking people over to the hot pools and probably the walk. It goes quite regularly. It's one way to get there. So there is no wind. It is dead flat apart from some water taxi chop. Now I'm sitting at what I'm going to call the neck, and there's probably a proper name for it, but we're going to go with the neck for now. I've come from all the way over the landing, hugged the coast, and ended up here. There's about a 400 metre opening, we'll call it, which takes you into a bay down towards the hot pools. So let's have a quick look at that. And I started over there, hugged the coastline, and ended up here. So it wouldn't take you long. If you had some finger on throttle, you'd be here in a couple of minutes. 2 minutes if you're on an RXT or an RXP or a GTX, one of those big 300, 325s. And this is the headland, and there's your opening. Keep going that way, and you can end up at the Cascades Walkway. Takes you to the Tarawera Falls. Really good, got a bit of that if we have a look at that. Otherwise we're heading straight down there. Not too far, straight into where we need to go, to the hot pools. It's just so much fun and really happy to be on the water again. This can get really choppy. It's actually really surprising how much draw and wind and chop this lake can actually pick up. Today's just dead flat. Yeah, but I've been here a few times where there's times you're just struggling to not jump off all the chop. So you take your time, but beautiful today. Let's keep going. The mountain is starting to show itself a little bit. It's going to be really pretty when that cloud disappears. That is where we are going. All right, I'm just sitting outside of the hot pools. I just want to show you this, have a look at this. So you can see the water taxis just come in, drop some people off, and you'll see some steam coming out. We'll go and have a look there, but there's a dock camp in there, Department of Conservation camp in there, which you can camp up at. Probably have to book that. Water taxi drops in and picks people up from here, and this is somewhere that people start doing walks from. And I believe the Tarawera walk comes across these hills and ends up over here. So that's where your water taxi drops you off, and that's where you can build your hot pool, which we'll go have a look at soon. If you want to go around to the Wairira, we'll have a look shortly. I'll put the name up on the bottom. Hot pool, which is a natural pool. It's a bit more of like a hot pool where you can actually put some steps, you can get into it. We'll go and have a look and have a swim shortly. You go round that corner. So those are the two that I know about. There goes your water taxi. Look at all that steam. Hopefully you can see it on the video. I don't want to get too close because I probably don't want to be drawing that water up through the jet. You can see all these little bollards and posts people have got in there to put your boats onto on the waterfront. I'll show you that in a sec. Very cool. Very cool. Let's go and have a walk around. Okay, here we are. Have a look at this. Caution, very hot water and sand. And I can promise you it is very hot. You can just build yourself a little alcove, and it's a bit of a battle because you're trying to keep it at a temperature that's hot but not too hot, and it's very easy to get too hot, and then it's easy to get too cold, so you're kind of battling with letting cold water in from the lake, which is freezing this time of year. So we're just I've got a wetsuit on and booties, although I just tore my heel, which is not ideal, on a rock. But let's jump in and have a look. I think what's saving me right now are my booties and my wetsuit, because I feel that that's too hot. So and that's really cold. So I think I'm sitting in a mixture of too cold and way too hot, but it's still kind of cool. I think if you mucked around here and moved the boulders around a bit, you could create your own little spa bath. Sort of comes down out of the hills here, out of the spring, and just makes its way into the lake. So That's your first hot water bath. You can see behind me there's some people that were kayaking, stayed overnight at the dock camp in a tent. It's a popular thing to do if you're looking to do some camping. I think if you're looking at jet ski camp too, you can probably do that quite easily. It'd be a good spot. You just probably want to lock your ski, dock it up to a bollard, put a lock on it, and you'd be good to go. Book one of those campsites. It'd be a great time.
Life is gonna happen one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Stop looking for the answers, and you'll find what you've got.
Right, we've come around that corner, and we just go in here. So just literally to the end of this little alcove bay. I usually throw an anchor or tie my ski to a tree, which we'll do right now. And sometimes there's 2 or 3 boats, but for the most part, you can always find a park. And then we'll go in and have a look at that little nice hot pool and have a swim. It's getting a bit shallow. The water's so clear. I think we're going to tie up to that tree there. Okay, we are parked up in the bay. How blue is that water? It's so clear. There's another boat just pulling in over there, but usually this little bay is full of 3 or 4 boats, skis. It's really nice. There's a little path here we'll go up to. I've just tied my ski to this fern. It's not going to go anywhere. Pulled all my valuables out and we're going to walk up there. How cool is this? Okay, we are here. Have a look behind me. How good is that? It's literally 10 seconds walk through some bush. There's nobody here. Stunning, eh? So I'm going to jump in, have a swim, hopefully just bask in the quiet. All I can hear are birds. So nice. Usually there's a lot of people here, so let's get in there and have a look. So good. It is so good. It's probably how warm that would be. Mid to late 30s. It's quite hot. Last time I came here it wasn't this hot, so whether it's just because it's me in the pool, but you hear that? Not a lot. How lucky. I actually prefer this to the other one. It's almost like you're just going into a hot pool. You can see how it's kind of dammed up. Keeps the heat in. So I'm going to sit in here for a while. Bask in the tranquility. I mean, really, how good is this? So good. So lucky. Okay, it's time for me to wrap it. Get back on the ski. Fly around the lake a little bit more. Thanks for joining me on this little adventure. Hopefully you get something out of it. Fortunately, it's still spitting a little bit too, and it's been in and out of rain, so can't get the drone up. I'll share what I can from previous footage, but yeah, just such a lovely part of the world, and it's very close to where I live, so I've got to be thankful for that. I'll catch you next time. All right, what an adventure. Let's keep going.